It's episode 32 of the Trackside Lounge. Welcome back. Got to say, last week I did allude to the fact that I was going to get a ride in one of Carl's cars. There's a little bit of footage because it was a bit of a surprise to everyone. Let me put it this way. Carl Hannaford is a genius when it comes to sorting cars out. It had 9 different levels of traction and ability to put it down on the track. What he did is he showed me the absolute baby steps one, which would make any driver feel like an absolute hero. But you can actually feel the car doing the work, the traction control, shuttling it around. And then we went through different aspects of it. And then we got to the bit where basically everything's turned off. And and I kid you not, it is 1,080 horsepower where the rubber meets the road. And Carl launched it. Now, in the hands of anyone short of a jet fighter pilot that's doing a barrel roll while being shot at, I don't think anyone has got the sort of ability that Carl has. He was just so calm and cool and collected. I had this manic grin on my face because it is thoroughly exciting, but it was a little bit sideways, a little bit all out of control. We had some wheel spin. You could feel the remnants of the traction control trying to do their stuff. But I don't know what it is that Carl does to cars, but he makes some absolute monsters. There is a safety override though. Carl knows about it because he's the guy that built it. I'm not going to tell anyone what it is. But mate, genius.
And it was done on closed roads. It was done not on a public road or anything like that. And how did you prepare for that? I mean, building up to the time of going for the ride, how did you prepare?
There was no preparation. No. See, that's the beauty of it. I mean, you go in some cars, right, and you go, well, and you change your colour of your trousers.
Yeah.
But with Carl, he just explains what's happening, talks you through it, poof, off we go. And I was more fascinated about the mechanics of what was happening and how it worked than I was about the sheer speed of it, because it was pretty clear that we were going quick, but it's the calmness behind the wheel of the guy that put it together, knows exactly what it's doing when it's doing it. So if something's going to go astray, it's like he's telepathic. He knows where it's going and he just gets out of it.
And the interesting thing about that too is the R35, just as a platform, is so over-engineered. Like they come from the factory sort of like 500, 600 horse, depending on if you've got a Nismo or a Spec V or a Black Edition. Yeah, they got all these different trims. It's only recently gone out of production, right, since 07.
Yeah.
And so to be able to squeeze basically double the horsepower out, make it 1,000, and you can still drive it to the shops and do your groceries and do your, it's still a daily practical supercar.
It's total magic what he does.
It's just the wizardry behind the engineering and how many cars are like that?
Well, if Carl's had his hand in it, quite a few. Because apparently there's one in the workshop that's got more horsepower where the rubber meets the road, but I've only heard about that in whispers and seen it in smoke.
Yeah.
Well, I was actually really impressed with you because he had no knowledge of it happening. It was a case of, oh, by the way, we've been talking about it for weeks and weeks and all this, and I turned up early, a little bit early there, and did a few things before Nik rolls in, and and Carl says, well, I'm going to do this on the car, and it was a car, he had to do some, he had to do that for some of the stuff on the car. I didn't understand the electronics and that. And it was like, just grab Nik, and I'm like, okay. So it was like, hey buddy, I'll just grab that off you, and hey, by the way, you're going for a ride in that car. And he's like, oh, okay then. There was no apprehension. You looked absolutely like, yeah, this is what I do every day. It's
retrospectively,
1,000 horsepower.
I would have liked a crash helmet, just in case. But and that's the other thing. I mean, Carl's such a master at this thing. There is absolutely no margin for error.
But it's literally just another day in the office.
Yeah, because that's what he does. Yeah. So logical performance. If you want to get your R35 doing things that only you can dream of, then Carl's probably it, man.
And the thing is, he's not just Nissan. This is the whole thing. It's not just a conception. He's been working on TVRs lately. He's got Oscars in here. He's got Trans Am cars in here. If you've got a WRX or I'm not sure about the Wingdings, but Scooby-Doo's, the whole 9 yards. He certainly knows how to turn his hand to these things. But by crikey, if you've got an R35, and someone who's got an R35, that'd be actually quite cool to see that from a standard platform to what can be done without, and change it back. I know that there's overrides on their electronics, and we're changing the subject. Anyway, different topic. So you had a lot of fun in the Skyline.
Had a lot of fun with the Skyline.
You now know what 1,000 horsepower. Is it the most powerful car you've ridden in, or have you ridden in more powerful?
No. The most powerful car I've sat in was, do you remember years ago there used to be a Statesman drag car.
Oh, the big
Vaguely,
WB body.
yeah.
WB, and that had,
right,
I think that was 3,500 horsepower.
Ooh, okay, you don't.
And it was down in Wellington when I was working down there, and I got to sit in it for a launch. Now, see, that's a drag car, and that launches ferociously.
Yeah.
The R35 didn't launch ferociously. It's just that the whole world went into fast forward.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like someone pushes a button and you, oh, what the heck? How did that happen? You don't feel like someone's come along and slapped you in the middle of the back.
And the difference between the two is, like you were saying, you can drive the R35 up the shops, get a warrant rego on it, and the drag car, 3,500 horsepower.
And the
What
thing
is
about
it
it too,
like?
how many people talk about like electronics in cars today? You know, they complain about all the lane departure assist, warning this and warning that, lights on the dash.
Have you seen some of the people driving those cars?
They need
That
it.
is true.
They
That
need
is
it.
true. But with the GTR, and again, we're not just here to glow about the R35 platform all day, but like even when it first come out, everything was functional. It was specifically for shaving tenths off your lap time.
Yep.
And that was just, I mean, it even pinged Jeremy Clarkson's neck.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it was so grippy around, I think it was like Fuji Speedway or something, where they did the test, and he did his neck in.
Yeah, he had to stop the thing halfway through the try, pulled over, and that's the ambo on my way. It was pretty
because
sore.
he's a really fit guy.
He's very
yes,
fit.
yes.
Speaking of fast lap times, we'll get into Bathurst. What an astonishing top 10.
Well, where do you want to start with Bathurst? Do you want to talk about the lead up? Do you want to talk about
the top 10? I want to start
holy
with the top 10.
smokes.
I want to talk about that. Just brilliant performance, and the little bit where they were coming into the dipper, they were getting air. I mean, even the the guys on TV were talking about it. Oh, he's got one wheel up, and the next time I think it was the third guy up, got complete air. The whole car was off the ground.
That's not what you want.
No, I know it's not what you want. But
zero work.
It did make me think. Perhaps next year they should put in a, because there's only the one car out there doing the lap. They should put up a prize, like maybe the main sponsor could put up a prize of like a cash prize. If you get the most measurable air, and they set up a camera so you can see how high it is, then you get paid for the bravery. The team get paid, but also you get warned not to do it in the race.
You know how rally guys, so like WRC, when you got a big jump, and sometimes they'll actually have the little markers, they'll have meters, 10, 20, 30, 40, they need to do that, but with inches at Bathurst.
Now, you said that they actually calculated how far the car jumped. This car was in the air for a nanosecond of time, but they actually calculated how far it had gone.
It could be up to like 10 metres off the ground. And you're on a downward trajectory and you're flat out trying to grab a gear, maybe trying to put a bit of brake in, and you got nothing underneath your wheels. It's terribly dangerous. It's a really dangerous thing to do.
That's a public road.
It's a public road. It's a dangerous thing to do, but wouldn't it be fun?
And also, if there's someone out there as a sponsor who actually used to sponsor the track, who wants to get their name in lights and puts up, 50 grand or something like that, we can help broker that if you want. And that'd be a super cheap way to get plenty of sponsorship. Wouldn't it be fantastic? 50 grand, longest time of the year, like you say, work out the
like
inches
an airtime award.
Fantastic. See, you heard it here first at the Trackside Lounge, and there will be a small brokerage fee.
Oh yeah, totally a small brokerage.
So Bathurst qualifying, the whole 27 cars within a second of each other for the qualifying. The whole top 10, I believe it was 0.2 of a second in the top 10 in the actual shootout. And just fantastic. I mean, we saw so many. I actually missed a couple of the days of the lead up, had other things on, which was serious. Welded to the TV on the weekend. No one rang me to text me and emailed me or anything like that nonsense. So much appreciated. But boy, oh boy, the build up though. I mean, it was, the rain's going to come, and for 20 laps, no rain, 30 laps, no rain. The rain's going to be here in 15 minutes to 40 minutes, and never came, blah, blah, blah.
Drops on the windscreen, but no actual...
It's going to be boring.
Yeah.
And I thought it's going to be a boring Bathurst.
I'm going to stop you there. Are you saying if it doesn't rain, Bathurst is boring?
It just looked like it last year, where all the cars were reliable at that time, I think. I don't think there was too many dramas or problems. The track was good. The cars were good. Even the new drivers were they were high quality drivers. Everyone was quite impressed, and good drive there from the 888 car too. I actually thought they were in with a bit of a chance in the early stages, and no one was really running away unhindered. And I thought, in a way, and I think most of us, even though we like good fast racing, last year was a ball fest, and it's like there was no safety cars, 26 cars across the line. They all 26 started. Bathurst is going to be boring, but boy, it was anything but boring. And just add water.
Yeah.
You know,
just add water, a load of safety cars though. But it's interesting, a load of safety cars came in, but it didn't become a boring race.
Oh, no.
But it also didn't drag out.
Yeah.
Like, you know, sometimes you have races where every single safety car, I mean, safety cars breed safety cars.
Yeah.
You know, and to be fair, that first one with D'Alberto, he put it in the wall and, you know, obviously the mountain bites. And then they didn't even get to go underway again and Mostert's car cucked it. So straight away, you go from 0 safety cars to 2.
Yeah. Chaz Mostert, superstar, don't you think? I mean, walks out of his car and the usual thing, damn, takes his helmet off. Yeah. Then a guy with a beer comes up, says how sorry he is, and he goes, yeah, thanks, mate. And then said, come over here, and someone gives him a beer, which he saw himself on the big screen, why not? I'm out of the race.
Now, I believe that was Robbo.
Robbo.
They kept talking about Robbo.
Yeah.
So I think that actually was Robbo.
Yeah, and you can see him, he go, come on, someone bring him a beer. And it was the worst possible beer, but apparently it's got huge exposure now. But the back footnote to that was when you stop on the Conrod, and he did the right thing, parked the car out of the way, and you know, everyone comes, recovery guys come, but also the station wagon comes, the medic vehicle, and you jump in the medic vehicle and you go back to the pits and but the car was gone. It had been down for a while. It had cylinder down or exhaust or something. And so Chaz had the choice to just jump in the car, go back to the pits, and be a superstar driver who's not, going to be in the pits. But he doesn't. And that's the whole thing about, if you haven't actually seen the footage on what happened with Chaz Mostert, go and Google it, YouTube it, do whatever you want. Maybe you can put a link.
You won't have to look hard. It's all over the internet.
Everywhere.
Mate, and he didn't win the race, but I bet he sold a hell of a lot of T-shirts.
And he's won the hearts of Australian motor and New Zealand motor racers too, saying that guy is still Chaz Mostert. He's always been a larrikin. I like Davey Reynolds for the same thing. He's always a larrikin. He is what he is. But Chaz, I think he reckons that his following just went boom, and was all that sort of carry on.
And all the cool moments of Bathurst in recent years, Chaz is now responsible for 3 of them. Firstly, winning the race from dead last. Secondly, wrapping his leg around his gear stick, and now knocking off and having a brewski.
Wow, that's sentences there. Wrapping his leg around the gear stick and then knocking off. And if we stopped there, or if you stopped there, your mind will be doing all sorts of things. So a Kiwi on the podium as well, top step.
Yeah. And I'm not a Ford lover, and of course I have a bit of a with a mate of mine who'll call him Henry Ford, and he was over the moon. I said, well, hang on, mate, everyone wins, and he's like, well, I said, well, everyone wins. I said, Chev actually crossed the line first. I'm more of a GM supporter than I'm Ford. Yeah. A Ford actually won, so he's happy. I said, and both of us are Kiwis, and the Kiwi wins. With Garth Tander. So Tander gets his 6th win. Matt Payne gets his 1st win. This year we've been sponsored by Penrite, so Penrite gets the win of the Mustang. Yeah. So we couldn't ask for better. So everyone was happy, and it just again another down to earth Kiwi guy. And Tander, he's had his moments of being up there, and he's down there. I think his feet are firmly planted on the ground now, and deservedly so. Yeah. That I felt sorry for Golding. I did. I know it was his harebrained move, but in that weather. And I'm not trying to justify it, but in that weather, it was that much. You saw after that move that Davey Reynolds, Matt Payne goes through. Davey Reynolds goes and catches Matt Payne, and as you go through a corner or someone right beside you, you open up the corner, you go right to the apex. And Davey was there, and you should have seen me, but he wasn't being dirty about it. But you always go for the apex, and so many times they don't get their bums ripped off. Luckily, this stage he just got a tap on Davey. Davey backed out of it, carried on, still finished 2nd. So that was pretty impressive, but. I think the biggest, I don't mean the word derogatory, loser was Cooper Murray in the Erebus car, because Golding was still classified 3rd even with the 5-second penalty, and the Erebus car, they came back 4th. So, Ford wins it. Chevs are all right there behind him. 4 Fords on the front row. Two grids of Ford. I think, can we ask the question now, is Parity, can we forget about
Parity? There'll still be a Parity debate.
Can we forget about Parity?
Okay, so what about when Toyota comes in next year?
Well, that's just going to throw the mix even more so. I mean, there was a period there where we had 5 manufacturers in the game. Yep. And what was the Parity debate like back then? Yep. It was insane, because you had Volvo's winning races, Scotty Mack when he went up against JB Whincup at Adelaide, and plucked it in first and gave it some jandle, and so there are platforms that are able to not necessarily succeed out the box, but they weren't making up the numbers either. They were doing bloody well.
Yeah, they were
so
And great to see the Toyota on the track first time. Crompo drove the car for the first time, round Mount Panorama, first time it's been seen.
looks good, sounds good.
It looked grouse.
Yep.
Question.
Yeah.
Does that particular model, the Supra, come with a V8?
It does not. It comes with a BMW Z4 motor, and that's been the whole thing of scorn for the Supra ever since it come out. Was it's just a BMW Z4 with a Toyota body on it.
Are Toyota going to put in a little V8 in there just so that it homologates? Because they have to, though.
Nissan run the Altima, and at the time, the Altima didn't have a V8 in it. Now, I don't know if they do any in the future.
Changed the rear drive, the Fuga, which was a JDM car.
Right.
Which was, because the other ones were front drive, they're using the same body style.
Oh, the Altima, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, like the
So it's a technicality thing.
Yeah, it is a technicality, but the Fuga, and it's Fuga, had a 4.3 litre V8. There was an option on the car, so you've probably seen around the 430s knocking around. So they just upped it to a 5 litre and made it to comply. So I would imagine there'll be, even if it's just for a short run for homologation purposes, there'll be a Supra V8. But of course, does that mean BMW get all pissed off and go,
if it does well though, but like if it does well, let's say Toyota join the grid next year and they're winning out the gate, right? Maybe they win Bathurst, maybe they win the championship, whatever. Surely Toyota would do like a special Supercars run, I don't know, 50 special Supras in their wider, lower V8.
Here's another question for you. Where does the engine come from for the Supra? Is it based on the NASCAR?
I would assume, well...
They sent they got a lot of the Euro in that from America, didn't they? There's a lot of the chassis went over to America.
But with the engine itself, I mean, you've got NASCAR, or you've got, obviously Lexus has a very successful GT3 platform.
Yep.
So you'd probably lean more towards the GT3 than the NASCAR, only for the simple fact that you want something that's proven in endurance racing, don't you?
And the NASCAR's 900 horsepower.
Endurance racing, 500 miles on an oval, flat out all the way. That's pretty endurance.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
I don't know, it depends, but it's better than them having no racing program prior. Like if something like Hyundai got into supercars, well, what have they got to work off?
I reckon I'd get one of the ILO vans and I'd pack a V8 in that, and that would be spectacular.
You'd run it in super utes?
Yeah. Oh no, I'd put it in the supercars. Just bung it in there.
So
throw the Parity thing out the window.
So hard luck stories from Bathurst. Obviously the big one, Ryan Wood, and that just wasn't fair. But you'd like that sometimes. Cam Waters was also very much. I've seen some people asking if he's the new Glenn Seaton. Close but no cigar. Neither of the Red Bull cars had a particularly good day either.
No. Now the Red Bull cars, and I've had quite a few people talking to me, as sometimes I don't have to pay them, and they just talk to me, and it's very nice, and I'm very comfortable. But the lucky dog, Brock Feeney went, I think, 2 laps down after going into the final turn before Conrod, and then gets a lucky dog from a safety car. Immediately there's another safety car after that, another lucky dog, comes back onto the lead lap, and then he actually finishes 6th, works his way from 19th, lucky dogs himself up to, I think it was 11th, lucky dogs himself up to 8th, and deservedly. I mean, he's still on the track, he's had an issue, excuse me, but then, working his way through for the last handful of laps, or how many laps it was from the last safety car, or more than that, and then gets himself up to 6th, takes out Kai Allen's chances of going through to the championship, and there was someone else, I can't remember who it was, someone else's chances went south when he went past him as well. And I'm starting to think, well, lucky dog, Heimgartner was too. And, so it's great to have the lucky dog. It makes it more exciting. You're not 19 laps behind, you gain a little bit there, like the 14 car, I think it was Young or whatever it was, where they had a problem earlier on, they had the transaxle. In fact, on the line, they broke the transaxle, and they did a great job repairing it. So they get a few extra, concessionary laps. But you've got to wonder, when it's someone like that, how many lucky dogs do you do to bring them back to the lead lap when we had a whole amount of safety cars like that, and it was like cars cleared, boom, because Teki, they were behind as well, boom, brought it up to, before the times happened. But I think the lucky dog, I think that's, a lot of people are saying this a bit unfair, that a car that sat there for 2 laps, caused safety car, caused what it caused, lucky dogs itself back up to, 6th place. And that's a big difference in the points for the championship, as well as,
The key word there is lucky dog. It's a rule, and he's just lucky.
Yep, that's a fair one.
Yep.
Could do better, like could win the race by actually staying on the track and not effing it up, but lucky dog.
Tennessee comments.
So, okay, obviously it wasn't a snooze fest, and then the rains came down and the excitement went up.
Yep.
You noticed towards the end of the race too, the clouds started coming down. Now, we actually talked about it in the living room over a few. Should they have stopped that race? Because that cloud was getting pretty low, and I know that if marshals can't see, race control can't see the cameras, and obviously the marshals can't see each other in the fog, that's not typically very safe grounds to conduct a motor race. So, I mean, I know there was only sort of like 3 or 4, 5 laps to go, and it was like starting to get really dodgy.
It was getting really hard.
But like, again, at what point does it become a safety issue more than just, there's only 5 laps, she'll be right?
I think that's a topic for discussion for next time. I mean, clearly there will be something raised about that, but it's just exciting.
I'm not saying it wasn't exciting.
It's like racing at night.
I'm not saying it wasn't exciting, but like even the Lemons racing, when we used to do non-stop 24 hours, there'd be hours in the morning where the fog would roll in, and the race control couldn't see the cameras. So guess what? They had to flag it.
And this is for grassroots, cheaper version cars, and they sit back and go, the value of being able to see the cars is quite important. And then you've got $1 million cars or whatever they are with top line drivers on millions as well. And we literally couldn't see them over Skyline for quite some time. And you think the safety side of things coming in there. I'm not into the whole, there's a sparrow on the side of the gutter and so we should go safety car. But by the same token, when you can't see the cars, it does bring up that instance. Like if they'd red flagged at 4 or 5 laps short, which is when we were losing the vision to the cars. Again, a nice little discussion, and maybe for another time. Be interesting to hear your thoughts if you've got any on that one, because send us a comment. But I do think there's some value in what you say.
Was there a kangaroo on the track?
I was going to say, you talk about a sparrow being on the track.
Kangaroo.
What about a kangaroo?
Was it? I thought it was AI. I saw it this morning. I thought it was AI that was actually Kai Allen out there. Now, Kai Allen, he actually got hit by this guy and that guy. I think
he was
the
a
safety car was
punching
sitting there going, I reckon I got a chance to give him a
was...
And then he almost, even the old Skippy was sitting there going, what have
I could get onto that.
What did Kai do to deserve that treatment from the entire grid? Because the kid was just treating like an absolute...
Hey, who knows what happened the night before? Who knows what happened the night before?
Yeah.
Only Kai and all the people that hit him. Sorry, I'm just going to leave that there now.
Tequila can be a monster, that's all I'm saying. Hey, Speedway is happening this year, so this season, coming up very, very soon in the spring of New Zealand. I'm getting excited about that. I'm actually can't wait to go and see how this Waikaraka project looks like. And I know that we've already had practice, or they've had a practice at Huntly.
Yeah, Huntly was a pretty good practice. TQ's midgets out there. I don't think anyone turned up with a sprint car. There was a couple of modifieds.
Yeah, one went into the wall, throttle jammed.
Yeah,
wow.
Throttle jammed. But luckily enough, it's in the shakedown period, and the car will come back for the season. But it's looking good. Bay Park gets underway, I think, this weekend or next weekend for practice, and they open on Labour weekend.
Yep.
So looking forward to that. And there is some fun coming up in the South Island. If you love your sprint cars, you need to be looking south for a race coming up at Ruapuna and at Cromwell for the New Zealand champs. Oh, wow. It's going to be hella good and hella fast too.
Going to be awesome. Plenty of speedway and dirt track, and there's another couple of weeks' time the Waiuku get their first one in the way. Mary's the same. They tried to have one over the weekend, but it was a little bit moke. Conditions weren't good in that whole facility, and also I see Kerry's got underway on the high bank, so they're doing a great job there. And that's really starting to get going. So they've got
forward to that. Actually, I might have to try and get hold of Kerry Bro, because ex-New Zealand #1 sprint car driver, and has put together the outlaw track back at Meri, which are very popular in the 80s. Big, high, fast, and Kerry's terribly excited about that. So maybe we should have a chat.
Oh, definitely.
I think so.
Yeah,
Kerry, we're coming for you, mate.
Yeah. We'll find your phone number. You're not hard to track down. Just try and trade a Honda. So Hooncorp. So we've got the track day happening now on the 12th of November. We've pushed the button on that one.
I saw that.
Yes.
On the Book of Face. So
We're
definitely going.
We're happening. We've gone past the point of can we afford it? Can we not? We've got enough people saying we're going to be in there, and still room for different groups. Slow road, slow race. Fast road, fast race. 125 is slow and fast. If you've got something there that's got a warrant, doesn't have a warrant, got a cage, homologated or not, we can work out a way to get you on the track, and that's what's important. The one-off price is a one-off price. There's no hidden extras, only if you want to pit. The pit garages are quite expensive. $295.
That's
for
a Hampton thing. That's not.
Yep.
It's not us, not us. $295 for the driver. That includes the health and safety levy, which was more money, but that's okay.
Health and safety, that's a key aspect to this. I mean, so, and then what that does is for you as a competitor, it takes that kind of panic out of it. You know, there's someone there that's dealing with the health and safety.
Right. Also, a possibility of a Christmas fun day too down at the drift park there. So we'll see. We've had a few people last night actually having a bit of a chinwag about that. Not a competition event, but just a bit of fun.
It's not a competition,
lead up to Christmas.
Right?
And my brother-in-law is a professional Santa, so maybe we can get him out there and have a bit of fun. Who knows? I mean, he really is a full beard. He's got the proper everything. We'll see how that can go. But it was a really cool. And also sim racing is coming up soon.
Yeah. Entries just opened for the 6 hours of Spa. So if you got a Assetto Corsa and you got some GT3 cars and a couple of mates, jump in. Going to be good fun. And then Project Motor Racing, which I think we've talked a bit about the development of. They've picked up the IMSA license.
Ooh.
So we're expecting a lot more American cars, a lot more American tracks. They've already got, they're sort of drip feeding information about it. They're going to have Lime Rock Park. They're going to have Kota. You know, all these little sort of drip feeds. But I mean, the IMSA license. You've seen American endurance racing.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of good fun. And then also one of our lead drivers for the Motormotion series, Lewis.
He was at the skid pan.
Yeah, he was at the skid pan.
The ute.
Yep.
The white crew.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
He's gone and hurt himself. Because that's what BMX riders do sometimes.
BMX?
When you have the tracks that do this and this and this, if you get it wrong, and then anyway.
So hang on. He survives a skid day with concrete walls right around him in a ute, and he goes and really hurts himself on a BMX push bike. Push bikes are supposed to be...
Hang on.
Maybe they should have paid a health and
Latex.
safety levy.
You've seen...
Was he wearing latex and
You've
everything and the
seen-
flashing light?
No, he's a BMX rider.
What a part-timer.
It's like motocross without the motor. You actually supply the power. So while you're busy trying to put the power down on the track, you're jumping over things and people are cutting you off, and I've seen the video for it, and holy smokes. It's a big and painful hit, is what it looks like.
Yeah.
But he's okay.
He's good.
So what are you going to do for a driver?
Well, you know, you usually expect...
We'll have to go and scrape the barrel and find somebody.
You'd usually expect the ring-in driver to be someone who's not quite as good, especially when you're talking the elite class.
You want me to drive?
Yeah, no, we got it covered. But you'd expect it to be someone who's, a bit of a ring-in. But I don't know how he's managed to wrangle it, but he's managed to get 19-time World Series driver Guy Barbara.
What? 19 times.
And they did their first race last night. He lapped everybody.
That's on your team.
Took the race by
He's
a
on
whole
your
lap,
team.
yeah. So that's sort of like, Guy, what do we have to do to get you outplayed?
So Hooncorp Esports is a separate division to Hooncorp, all part and parcel, but also there's Hooncorp and Hooncorp Esports. If you're into sim racing, check out Hooncorp. It's actually a lot bigger than I thought. It's growing substantially. It's like
we're sort of doing this. You know, it's just snowball at the top of the hill. It's just picking up pace, picking up momentum. And like the regular Hooncorp, you know, we're starting to look at sort of 2026 and what we want to do, what we want to sort of put our effort to, and then, you know, consequently how much we're going to need to try and seek for funding and sponsorships and all that. So, look, we're just, everything's blowing up. You know, this start of the year, Hooncorp had 1,000 followers. Hooncorp Esports had probably another 1,000. Now we're up to 7,000 and 4,000?
Yeah, 7,000 for Hooncorp, 4,000 something.
So
I couldn't believe that
the growth in like the last 10 months has just been phenomenal.
The cool thing about it is it's a great way to get involved with motorsport. I mean, if we start with the esports, it does cut down the expense. You don't have to have a race car, but you do end up with some cool race cars. But it's the seat time. Everyone will tell you. Every single racer will tell you. It's seat time on the tracks and experiencing the drive that is the key. Now, if you can transfer your esport experience into, like, one of the Hyundai track days, Hooncorp track days, then you're on a double whammy. And if you want to progress from there and spend a bit of lolly and buy a proper race car and go mental, absolutely great. But if you just want to get the feeling, have a really good time doing it, then this is the perfect way to do it.
That's right. And Hooncorp isn't about you come and join us and be with us and do all of our things.
It's
Hooncorp
about being involved.
we help you get onto the first rung of the motorsport ladder. Come and have a go, do some sim racing, have an autocar day, maybe a track day, come out to Hampton, watch if you don't want to drive, see what it's all about, free to spectate, get yourself underway. And that's what it's always been, and that's what it will always be. But in the future, next year, we'll look at some funding lines and some ways to actually progress and stretch out and incorporate crazy passengers and a rookie driver too. So
we don't have a community, we don't have a membership.
No.
You don't have to be a member of this. You don't have to align yourself with this or that or whatever. We're independent. We always have been. We'd like to always will be.
Yep.
And, again, it's like you say, it's just providing that opportunity, because the grassroots scene, I think without the grassroots, you wouldn't have a professional scene.
Right. Yep.
For every Kai Allen and young kid out there,
Payne,
and Matt Payne and Ryan. Well, Kai's not a Kiwi, is he? He is?
No,
damn, okay, bad example.
But he was young.
For every pro, there's like 1,000, 10,000, grassroots guys who've got nice cars. Maybe they go and do, a cruise, or they meet up and they maybe drive a bit faster than they should on the roads. But that's sort of the demographic that we've always tried to sort of reach, is the grassroots, the entry level. Come and do it on the track, don't do it on the road.
And don't call yourself a racing enthusiast by being a complete dickhead doing burnouts on the corner. We don't want to know you. Until you grow up and actually want to do something that means something, that's what Hooncorp's all about. A racing enthusiast isn't an idiot, or a car enthusiast isn't some idiot on a corner at 3 o'clock in the morning. You're just a road terrorist. But Hooncorp's all about people that actually want to get out there. What lap time did you do? How did you go in this? You're in the autocar and you came 43rd. There's only 40. At least you came 43rd.
Did the wheel fall off?
Yeah, that's a good thing. But did you get a ticket? No. Did you on the track? Maybe on the way there or back. That's your problem. But on the track, you didn't get a ticket. You didn't get your car impounded. And that's what Hooncorp's all been about. So yeah, really, really want to step things up for 2026.
Speaking of getting a ticket, guess who got a ticket?
Oh no.
I was travelling on the motorway, and I'm going to say this.
In which car?
In the Fiat.
Fiat.
Someone in a Kia,
small car,
did that magnificent thing where you join the motorway and you indicate and you join into the flow of traffic. By not doing any of that, by just cutting straight across the front of the car in front of me, going out and cutting across a truck. And I thought to myself, blimey, I don't want to be here. So I popped the Fiat into the left lane, because that's where the exit I was going.
Yep.
And I just pedalled away from them, because that was it. And right behind me, there was a policeman who pulled me.
Who didn't see the other guy?
Oh no, he saw the other guy. He said, "It's all right, we got his number plate. We'll catch up with him later." And he said, we're going a bit quick on the inside lane." And yeah, I had to take it on the chin. But here's the other thing: the Fiat can do just over 100 kilometres an hour. And it is just over 100 kilometres an hour. So look, I took the
with a tailwind, downhill.
Hell yeah.
On a tow truck.
Oh, there's no need for that.
Sorry.
But so all I have to do is keep it in fifth, and I can't possibly speed in that car.
Right.
It's the gear 6 that took it just over.
I was going to say, that is a 6-speed. Yeah.
So if you don't want to be like Nik and get a ticket, then come and do Hooncorp events or do proper motor race events. We've got to wrap this up real quick, because Targa started this week, and of course we had Peter Martin on here a couple of weeks ago. So check out the Targa website and get yourself. Last night, I think it was Tuesday night, it's Wednesday today while we're filming, was the meet and greet at the Pukekohe, and I couldn't get there. I tried, but I couldn't get there. And they had the $5 burgers and the big steaks, and thanks to New Zealand Beef and Ham, I think you'd said. So, but if you want to follow Targa road racing, you can go to the various spectator sites. I think it's free to go to spectator sites, and you can go to the service parks and support the local charities they have. So that's pretty cool there. Yeah. Covers a lot of the North Island too. So.
And if you're into speed in a big way, how does 800 kilometres an hour sound to you?
Sounds pretty good to me.
Sounds like that guy will get a ticket.
Yeah. Were you in the Skyline? Or?
No. Reg Cook, a famous racing driver, 82 years old, that guy, is chasing 800k in Bolivia at the moment with Wairua 2. He's also taken the Nissan NSX down there, and I think the Minis down there. They were going to have 4 containers turn up.
Right.
3 of them are turned up. They're in Chile. 1 is not going to arrive. So the latest update says that one of the containers may not make it in time. They have extended the date, so the land speed record is now, looks like it's going to be October the 25th. And it's that Kiwi can-do attitude that they're just getting on with it. They've been out there, they've paced out the track, they've set everything up. The car runs and sounds beautiful, running a big block engine in there at the moment. And best of all, a mate of mine is over there at the moment, Bruce James. I remember him telling me about it once at Speedway, because he drives an F2 midget. And he said, yeah, no, I was with Reg Cook when they took Wairua 1 over. I didn't realise he was with Wairua 2, and there was a little shot of him on the interweb of Bruce getting a medal for something like, he got a beer. They had a big dinner. Everyone was saying it's great for him to be there, but he is basically the engine transmission guy for a car that is destined to do 800 kilometres an hour. So
that's amazing.
Reg and the team, Bruce, mate, I'll see you at Speedway, but Reggie, do what you can, mate. Everything's good. Everything's good.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to finish up with the last thing here, and we are getting together some packages. We've got some old merchandise here from the 80s, the 90s. We've got some maps, and we've got some Rally New Zealand footwear back when it was called a cigarette company. We can't say it. And we're putting together some merchandise there for sale. So if there's people looking for things like this and these little maps, we've got a few of those in much better condition. And some clothing and that from the 90s. We're raising some money for a very nice fellow who helps us out. And all sorts of ways we're going to look at marketing those in the next few weeks. So anything like that, get in touch.
Cool thing about those is they are originals.
Original ones, yeah.
You can't get replica ones.
There's even a little bit of a split on this one too, so it's not a pristine thing. It's actually been used, and it's got a little bit of a nick into it. This is a weathered bit of paper there, not weathered outside, but just a little bit weathered, and we've got nicer ones there, not reproductions, just they were original ones that all got folded up, about 10 or 15 of them, and they're there to be put together. So we want to work out how we can support a good man who's would definitely benefit from that. Yep. So get in touch if you're interested, in even just in these two items. Sorry, this is just to prop the old piston, but what a weapon that thing is! And you won't be selling that. That's actually Carl's. But anything like that floats your boat. And there's some other programs that he's got, and some merch from the 90s, and even possibly further beyond. So our way of supporting him. He's a good rooster. I just hope he doesn't hear us saying that.
Yeah, because he'll be trouble.
Yeah, it'll be heck to pay.
Yeah. Well, that's it for this week. We'll catch you back soon here at the Trackside Lounge.